Okay, we're here getting ready for the Kemmerer stage. This is Jerry Bath. Jerry had a really strong run yesterday and one of the longer runs of the stages of the stage race. You were 5th place yesterday, I believe, pushed you up to 7th place overall. Is that as high as you've ever ran in this race?
No, I finished 5th the first year I ran it.
Okay.
With 8 yearlings, surprisingly.
Wow. What year was that?
3 years ago. This
Okay.
is my 3rd year here. Last year, I finished 7th last year.
Okay, so you're right about where you expect to be.
Yeah, but it seems like the field is, as you've well seen, the times are really close all the way along there. For the
Times are close and there's a lot of competition.
A lot of competition, and
yeah.
today's another day.
What now on your gang line setup? I see you use the half harnesses, but you also do something differently and you stagger them along the gang line. And what's your thinking behind that?
I think the same kind of thinking as the harness, of freedom of movement. You know, they get a little bit more freedom of movement, and also I think if they get in sync with each other, there's almost just a little bit of drafting going on there.
You know? Okay, gotcha.
But you know, mushers. Anything we think works for us works.
And if it works for you, it does work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Neat.
The trail yesterday was a lot more conducive of the type of stuff we train in. You know, we had a lot harder time on the rougher trails the days before, and I was really concerned with injuring dogs in that punchy snow.
How many did you take out yesterday?
11.
Okay, so when you have a gang line like that and you have 11 dogs, it gives you a longer gang line too.
No, you're shorter actually.
Oh, because of the half harness and the shorter tugs.
Yeah,
right, gotcha. Yeah.
With 55 on the leaders and 36 on the team dogs in between tugs is all.
Gotcha. Yeah. So what do you think that you had such a good run yesterday? What do you think some of the factors were? Was it that you got on a good trail and your dogs could really stretch out?
Yeah, I got on a good trail that the dogs like to run on. They had really fun on that. They get really discouraged when it starts getting punchy and stuff. You know.
Yeah.
I just don't have that type of dogs that like that rough going. They like that groomed trail. Mostly that's what we run on. That's what we trained on.
Yeah.
Is groomed trails. And
yeah.
I was glad to see that they got their spark back. I was a little concerned about that. You know.
Are you going with 10 or 12 today?
10 or 11.
10 or 11.
We'll see. I'm gonna walk them all and see what's going on there. We've got 12 strong ones that can go, but we got another day ahead of us. So.
Yeah. What do you think of this trail here in Kemmerer?
It's kind of the best of all the trails we've had. You know, you start off with a little bit of rough stuff, and then you get into some groomed stuff. It's got some flats, a few steep, short climbs, but it's twists and turns, and then there's some long desert stretches too. So it's got probably the most varied terrain of all the trails. We
saw some position changes yesterday. From your experience of having run this race a bunch of times, do you think this is a stage that will force that upon some of the mushers to some jumping back and forth?
Sure it will.
Because it's a longer stage, 50 plus,
it's a longer
right?
stage, and there's a lot of dogs that are sore and tired. There's a lot of sore and tired mushers too.
Yeah.
You know, so be careful not to blend those two egos together. You'll have to stop somewhere.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right, well, have a great race today, Jerry. We'll catch up with you later.
Thank you. See ya.
Thanks.